the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm honest. You're the leaves in mid-August, and I've come out here to say that I love.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. In the first clip you saw, I went to the farmer's market this morning, and it is one of my favorite things to do on Saturday mornings. I absolutely love getting up, getting dressed, and driving across the town to head to the farmer's market. I love the small town feeling that it gives. We have so many different farms represented, a lot of different vendors, and everyone's selling their fresh produce. You have baked goods, cured meats, jams, honey, a lot of different things, and it's just so much fun. I look forward to this every single year in May when it begins, and I miss it when it ends in October. So we do have a few more weeks of farmers market on Saturday morning, so I'm gonna try my best to go as much as I can. But I did go this morning and it was amazing. It was packed full, and I did pick up a lot of different produce because I am cooking a chicken roast today. So I will show you all of the things I got in this very heavy basket. There goes a carrot. Look at these colorful carrots. I really love these. You don't often see these in grocery stores, so I love when I go to the farmer's market and I see the colorful, I think they're heirloom tomatoes, carrots. And look at this really fancy red one. It looks a little bit orange up close, but like when you put it right next to an actual orange carrot, you can see how much more red that is. But very lovely. Some onion, some lemons, there's some potatoes down there, green beans, which are my favorite, some flat leaf parsley, and some celery. I think that's all. More potato down there, but yeah, that is my loot for today. And then I'll also show you my husband's loot. So I'll show you my husband's loot as well. So he has quite the growing hot sauce collection at the moment. I don't know when this obsession for him began, but he really, really loves his hot sauces, and he does go through them quite quickly. Yeah, so he picked up a few hot sauces from Tijuana Tom's. That is the company right there. This one is Canadiana House of Hot Sauces. So this one's a sweet and smoky habanero hot sauce. I'm not much into hot sauces at all, so this is definitely all for him. Canadiana. And then he picked up another one. This one's jalapeno borracho. My Spanish is really, really bad. But this one is creamy jalapeno, serrano, and roasted pineapple. So he really loves like the mix of sweet and a lot of heat in his hot sauces. So I think he's really gonna enjoy this one as well. And then this one he had to get. I mean, my husband's Costa Rican, so definitely had to have the Costa Rican tagline on that one. But this one is Pura Vida, and it is roasted poblano and cilantro hot sauce. So I'm excited to see what he thinks of these. We went to the grocery store to actually get the chicken because they don't have, they don't really sell a lot of like uncooked meat. They have a lot of like cured meat and beef jerky and sausages and things like that. So I had to go to the grocery store to actually get the chicken. But I'm so glad I did, because I saw these crackers that I absolutely love that I have not been able to find for over 2 years. So this is from the company Panache, and it is their, let me see if I can, this is their fig and thyme artisan crisps. These are absolutely delicious. You can eat them with like jams or cheese or preserves. I absolutely love this. This makes a really good charcuterie like cracker as well. So I picked up 2 boxes because I have not been able to find it in 2 years. So this is definitely something I will be enjoying very soon, I think. But I'm at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to open these. So I have to check the expiration date to see how long I could. Oh no, so they expire in October. So I do have to eat them relatively soon. I have a bit of time, but I was hoping to hoard them longer. That's okay. Thank you, Milton. That's Milton. Okay, anyways, so while Milton plays with his bag, I'm gonna start on the chicken. So I'm gonna get it seasoned and then I'm gonna stick it in the fridge just to absorb a lot of that seasoning. And then I think I will start to do a little bit of flower arranging for some of my autumn florals. We have the man of the hour, the bird. Have you met my friend? His name is Bernard. I'm not known for my jokes, so please let me have a pass. Anyways, I'm gonna start cooking this bird, Bernard, and actually, first what I will do is get Bernard seasoned, and then I'm going to put him in my Dutch oven with some onion, some celery, carrots, garlic, scallions, and stick him in the fridge until it's time for cooking. So that's the first thing I'm going to do.
How come the stars come to shine when it's dark? From so far away, show us where we are. What makes the sun go to sleep every night? And what's it dreaming of? I wonder. How come the sky sometimes hides behind the clouds? Maybe it's just like me, a little bit scared of heights. Why does the rain always keep on pouring down when it's gray outside?
In the Dutch oven, I have some carrots, garlic, onion, and celery. And then I'm also gonna add some parsley. And then all of those amazing flavors as the chicken cooks is going to infuse into a lovely gravy that I will make afterwards. So I definitely want a lot of aromatics. It smells really nice. Very fresh. Give it a good rinse, a quick chop, and then that can go inside. And then I'm also gonna stuff the chicken with this as well, along with some thyme and rosemary, but I definitely want a little bit on the base. Like that. And then it's time to get Bernard dressed. Oh my goodness, I've lost it. So I made some green seasoning and I'm going to apply some liberally to Bernard because I want him to look his best for the oven, as well as some salt and pepper, and I need some thyme and rosemary. Thyme and rosemary, salt, pepper. That's really nice. Thyme definitely is my favorite herb. It smells so good and it flavors things so well. Lovely, very nice. So now I'm down to buying store-bought thyme and rosemary because I no longer have my garden outside. I've used up the last of my herb garden harvest, so I'm buying herbs now. But that's okay. And some Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce? I don't know. I'm putting some sauce. Okay. So I have my aromatics. Those are gonna go stuffed in the bud. And then my green seasoning here. Actually, I do want to get some gloves on. Typically I will just do this with my hands, but I don't feel like having to scrub my hands after to get the smell away. So I'll be a little bit fancy and put some gloves on. Oh, I also have some butter in here. And I will also mix that with some spices and seasoning so that I can shove that underneath the skin of the bird, of Bernard, So he has a lot of flavor. So there's a lot of flavors going on here, but I think it'll be delicious. So green seasoning first, and then I will put some of the butter underneath the skin of Bernard, and then put some parsley, thyme, and rosemary inside so that he gets a lot of flavor as well.
How come the stars come to shine when it's dark? From so far away, show us where we are. What makes the sun go to sleep every night? And what's it dreaming of? I wonder. How come the sky sometimes hides behind the clouds? Maybe it's just like me, a little bit scared of heights. Why does the rain always keep on pouring down when it's gray outside? It really makes me wonder. Yeah, it makes me wonder. It really makes me wonder.
So Bernard is all seasoned, he's stuffed with all of his aromatics, and he's ready to go in the fridge, which is beeping at me, by the way. So I'm gonna put a lid on him, stick him in the fridge for about 30 minutes so that he can absorb all of the flavors and the seasoning. And in the meantime, I'm gonna work on my potatoes and on my carrots. Then I'm gonna stick everything into the oven. And then once it's cooked, it's time to eat.
Shine like gold until winter comes. Until winter comes. Until winter comes. It really makes me wonder. Yeah, it makes me wonder. It really makes me wonder. Oh, I wonder. Stars come to shine when it's dark from so far away and show us where we are. It really makes me wonder. Yeah, it makes me wonder.
Carrots and potato are done, ready for the oven. So I just peeled the carrots, cut them in half or in quarters depending on the length, and then lay them on a baking tray with a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper, thyme, and some rosemary. And then I did the same with the potatoes, but I also added a bit of Italian herbs to the potatoes to give them some really nice flavor. So I'm about to put the potatoes first, and then the carrots will join shortly after.
I just wonder.
This is the view on this side of things. So obviously you have the table and the mums, and then look at this giant one down here. This one has just bloomed so nicely. Wow. This one's falling a little bit behind. You can see there's still a lot more buds on this one, but actually I don't mind that. The mix of like the buds along with some of the petals, they look really nice, but this one's kind of falling behind, so hopefully with some water he'll start to bloom a little bit more on the table. And then I have another little one over there that's also has a lot more buds, but very nice. I love this year that they had a lot of colors, different varieties of mums, different colors of mums, so it was really nice to kind of choose. They had yellow, they had this one, this kind of like orangey red. They had a deeper red, they had purple, which I've never seen before. Kind of like a pinky purple, yellow, I believe white, so there was a lot to choose from. I do have these cushions. Oh, there you go, you can see it a little bit better. These cushions that I had in the summertime. So these will stay here, I think. And then of course, once the weather gets a lot colder and it starts to snow, I'll just bring them in and then store them for the next season. It's a little bit gloomy today. Actually, the sun was out earlier, and then obviously as the sun is going down, it's a lot gloomier and the clouds are really gray and just dark. So I thought I'd come out here before it got too dark so I can water the mums. So I got some beautiful, they're like a bit of a fiery orange, or like a kind of like a burnt orange, I would say, color. They're lovely. I'll bring them close so you can see them. But these mums, look how beautiful that is. If this doesn't scream autumn, I don't know what does. So they're on the table, and the last remaining plant from summer, my basil, is pretty much all gone. I do have one that I got kind of late summer that I've been keeping on the table. This one's doing well. This one's store-bought. It's not one of my grown ones, sadly. The basil didn't do too well this year, so that's okay. But I have been using this, and actually I do need a little bit for my dish today. So I will take a few trimmings of this. So I'm just gonna get a little bit of this. I think that's more than enough. But yeah, I just sat out here. It's so cozy out here. I love sitting out here in the evening times as the sun sets, and it's just the perfect temperature at the moment. Of course, I have like a really long sweater. Anyway, I do want to get back inside because I do have some more flowers to arrange. I bought some flowers at Michael's along with a few that I had remaining from a couple of years ago. So I'm going to cut them and put them in a ginger jar, just so it brings some of these like really nice orangey colors on the inside. So I'll show you that once I get inside. But I really wanted to just water all of the mums out here and then get a bit of the basil as well. I do have to get rid of this, discard them. I've kind of turned down some of my terracotta pots that I had from the summer just here, so that over winter it doesn't, you know, get too ruined, too battered. But this is the last remaining one, so later on I will take care of this. And then I might bring this one inside and see how long it lasts. But at least for now I can get a handful of basil. Someone's over here enjoying the basil very much. I love to hear him chew. A lot of times if I'm making salad for myself, I'll make him a little bowl, and he loves greens. He will eat like carrot tops, lettuce, he'll have basil, parsley is his favorite, cilantro, and then sometimes I'll throw in a few pumpkin seeds or sunflower seeds. Are you done? He's like, please, can I have some more? Maybe a little bit later, because I need the rest for my pasta dish. And on the inside, I'll just show you on this table here some of the floral stems that I got from Michael's, and then some that I've had for a couple of years. But as you can see, I've really tried to bring in some of that burnt orange color from the mums on the outside to the decorations on the inside. So that's kind of the color scheme that I'm going with. And then of course I will kind of pair it with some of the, maybe more of the darker green stems in there, just to give it a little bit more of like a, kind of like a fall color palette. And then I have my other jar there. Yellow candles are gonna be switched out for these green ones. I have my wreath, so if you remember my video from last year, I kind of repurposed this one. So this wreath I made several years ago, and all I did was just add some more of the yellow ribbon, just to kind of bring it out, because I think last year I did more of those like really golden yellow colors. So I'm gonna switch the yellow ribbon out for this more kind of like bronze or brown color, just to kind of go with a little bit more of the color palette that I have here. So just to kind of give you an idea as it rolls away, this is the color palette that I'm kind of going for. So that goes really, really nice. And that's what I love about the way that I make the wreaths. I'd love to add a lot of varieties of different colors, and then you change out the ribbon, and that really gives the wreath a new, fresh look. I do have to glue one of the owls back on because I don't know, it flew away. it has fallen, so very easy. I just grab a glue gun and I'll fix that. But anyways, I'm gonna set you up on a tripod and start arranging these. Before I start, I also wanted to quickly point out that the wallpaper on my cell phone is also very autumnal, and it has a lot of the same colors that I'm using, so very, very happy about that. I think I might leave this one in as well. So I've just finished with adding the brown ribbon, and I really like how the brown complements the oranges, the yellows, some of the more natural tones. And it just kind of makes it a little bit more subtle. I like that. The yellow ribbon was great, but it's a little bit bright, whereas I wanted something a little bit more pared back, a little bit more calm. I'm not loving how this ribbon came out, but I'll play with it later and see if I can get it perfect. But other than that, I've glued the owl back into place, so now the companions are together. And then for the jars, I love the combination of the blue with the burnt oranges and the reds. I think it looks really nice. I love that. So this one is gonna stay on the dining table and this one's gonna go over there onto the island. This room is a work in progress. I don't have pictures in the frames, but I think I will be changing these frames because I dropped one of them and it broke. Also, this room is gonna get a really nice makeover, hopefully. Not hopefully. Hopefully it'll be nice, but it's gonna happen. And I'm definitely going to panel the walls so that it looks a little bit nicer in here. There are no windows in here, so this area doesn't get a lot of natural sunlight and it looks very dull and it can be very boring and I don't know. So, oh, I put two of the plates over there. So just to kind of try them out. I mean, they will come down once we have to panel and whatnot, but I really like them there. I'm hoping to get a little bar cart to go underneath, and then all of this wall will be paneled, this wall and the wall behind me. I'm hoping to get a round table, something a little bit smaller in here because this is a smaller room. This table is lovely and I really like the table and it has served us very well over the years, but it is too big, and when we bought the table we didn't do the measurements properly, so it is very snug in here. So we do need something a little bit smaller. I am thinking to get like a really nice round wooden pedestal table. That is my plan, that's my goal. I would love to finish this by Christmas. That might be a little bit ambitious, but I'm gonna try at least to get the walls paneled and done. I think that's realistic. I do want to see if I can get somebody to come and give us a quote on how much you think it would cost to do this area, or we might just tackle it ourselves and do it. There are a lot of videos on YouTube that show kind of detail how to do a DIY version of the paneling. So we may try that, but if it's worth it to get somebody in that are, you know, is a professional that knows how to do it, that can take into consideration things that we have not even thought of, then for me, it's worth it to get somebody in to do that. So that's kind of where my thinking is at the moment with this room. But I love this. Look how beautiful. I'm loving the royal blue. Kind of a little sneaky peek or a little hint for Christmas. I may or may not be adding a really nice dark navy blue into Christmas this year. I don't know. It might happen. Anyways, that's it. I think that's all I'm going to do for today. I'm gonna go make dinner for myself, for my husband, and just relax the rest of the evening, listen to the thunder, and just have a cozy evening at home.